It would be silly to be complacent that basically if we just carry along we will stay economically competitive as a nation. And most nations, I think, have realised that and are doing something about it positively. And we need the equivalent in this country of an Obama State of the Union message that makes it clear that the country needs schools to be encouraging kids to be more creative, better team players, learn when they need to learn, but learn how to learn, be more critical about others' opinions and so on. So it's something, there's no obvious catharsis. It's not like a war or an earthquake, it's attrition. But if we don't do something about it very soon, we will be economically very severely disadvantaged, in my view. We were very much in the lead in this particular country in the early 80s with the challenge of the microprocessor, the chip. So in the early 80s it was a political decision of both the Labour Party followed by the Conservative Party that we had to do something about improving skills in order to embrace the technology and also to develop it. So we had something called the Microelectronics Education Programme. And at first that dealt with very specific things like electronics, office practice, computer-aided design and so on. But the little things that came out of it, I'll show an example. There is something from the 4-bit Texas Instrument chip called the Little Professor, which was basically an entertaining way of getting kids to do their arithmetic tests. But also we produced things like floor turtles, robots that we used in primary schools, have a modern equivalent now. So this is in use in primary schools. You just program it on the back, effectively in logo, forward so many lengths, turn right so many minutes on the clock face, because that's what kids know. They don't know degrees then. And then you can put a pen in here and you can draw figures. So in the primary curriculum it's always been easier in a way to introduce things like programmable toys which have got actually very strong undertones of computer programming. Yes. And this particular version, this is something which was originally made in the 1980s, it's still being made, but this is a new version, and this is going to take this year, it'll have a webcam and a rocket launcher. So basically we'll have an input and an output device, so it will be controlled, not just devices. So in the primary curriculum, innovative teachers can always innovate, and it's just a question of helping them talk to each other and getting good networks. The price of technology really has ceased to be, when a laptop came out, when I bought my first laptop, it was £2,000.
Yes.
This is under £500, and it's got huge amounts of everything, as you can imagine. But the nice thing is that I can plug into this whole lots of different things. I can put in, this is a motion detector, and that costs about £70. And you can get you to walk up and down in the classroom and you'll produce your distance time graph straight away on the board. And we can all then try to say, well, how fast are you going? What was your velocity? We can do stuff absolutely without technical support.
It's always struck me as well that in the past so much time is spent drawing graphs rather than analysing them.
Absolutely. And again, so that was a change in technology, because in about 1985 the first graphing calculators came out. But in effect they weren't calculators, they were computers. There's an input device, there's a processor, there's an output device. This one has got, guess it, a USB port, so you can plug in a temperature probe and we can do science experiments with, again, no technical support, and the whole device costs under £100. If you like, there's the outside the compartmentalised curriculum. So many schools are having off timetable, day a fortnight, half a day a week for cross-curricular activities. And that might be drama.
Yes.
And in some schools, it's STEM clubs. The problem with STEM clubs is it only touches a small group of kids. And unless it's well managed, what the teachers get out of it doesn't permeate the rest of their colleagues and even their own teaching. So the problem is we can take an existing technique, a strategy, a club where they do projects and they can get awards because there are all sorts of different badges and Crest Awards, and there are a whole lot of different accreditations for student projects. But unless this actually does something for enlivening the general teaching within the school for most pupils and updates the skills of most teachers, it tends to go to being a fringe activity for the gifted and talented. I think first thing is curiosity, that kids learn to look at things around them and ask, how does that work? When I press the send button to send you a text message, what's actually happened? And who designed that? And what kind of principles are they using? And that seems to me that if we can get that, we live in this world, can we explain it? Can we then actually do something with it? Can we write our own apps? Can we actually log our own data? That seems to me if we can do that, and then we'll pick up the skills we need. If you want to simulate the kicking of a football, you've got to know something about ballistics, and you've got to go and find out a bit about the maths. But that's all there. It's all on the web.
Yeah.
So it's opening, unlocking the curiosity that really counts for me.